Hey everybody, I am back for a week ahead look. You missed me for a few weeks. That Rahu Saturn conjunction up there in the upper left hand corner of the top chart kept me really busy with working and etc. So anyway, I'll try to be more consistent and come back for you for an every week Sunday check-in. So this week we have the moon waning. Tomorrow, May 26th, Monday, is the new moon in the sign of Taurus. We also have Rahu moving this week. Rahu and Ketu, the axis is finally clicking into its new position in Aquarius. What you're seeing there, if you're a geek about astrology, is I have Rahu true node set right now for my settings. So what you're looking at is Rahu still in Pisces. The mean node version of Rahu changed on May 18th. The true node is going to shift on the 29th. And then we'll have Rahu in Pisces and Ketu in Aquarius traveling in retrograde motion through those signs for about the next year and a half. So this is after a long spring of a lot of dynamic outer planet changes, starting in March, where we had eclipses. We had an eclipse pairing. We had Saturn move from Aquarius to Pisces on March 29th. And then that set up a very intense Rahu and Saturn combination that's been going on since that time. May 14th, a couple weeks ago, Jupiter moved from Taurus into Gemini for about a year. And yes, so now we have the nodal axis finally shifting. So we're kind of coming into this, I feel like a closing of a little bit of an intense chapter from this spring. And it's all settling in this week. The other thing is that if you look at the degrees of the planets, Mars is 24-27 today, and that means Mars is going to be moving from Cancer to Leo during the first week of June, after a very, very, very long time of being in only two signs. Cancer and Gemini has been Mars's stomping grounds for the last 9 months. And then you can see the degree of Venus is getting up there and will be shifting this week as well. So Rahu and Venus are moving out of Pisces, which is going to set up a Graha Malika yoga for a while. Graha Malika yoga means chain of planets, and there's an idea of really things flowing with that. You start at the beginning of it and all the planets are adjacent to each other in a line. So that's going to be happening for a little while. I also want to point out that we are going to be having a form of Kala Amrita yoga. If you're versed in what that is, that means all of the planets are on one side of the nodal axis. So that's a whole conversation. It really feels a lot of times when that sets in that it feels like a very fateful, meted out energy. So let's see how that goes. For a while now, I've been thinking, okay, by the end of May, we're going to be clicked into the new transit setup. And at this moment on Sunday, May 25th, I personally am feeling like, wow, the first week of June is going to be, we're going to feel different. It's going to be like, wow, okay, we're doing this. It's going no matter what. And it might actually feel good in a way. Like there's been a lot of setup and prep and things are going. So let's see how that goes. So this chart is actually I'm showing you the 27th. So let me click back. Today is the 25th. Okay, so this is moon in Aries. Today is Sunday the 25th. When we woke up and got going today here in the United States, the moon was in the sign of Aries, and specifically in Bharani Nakshatra. As we go through today and wake up tomorrow in Monday, The moon is going to slide into a conjunction with the sun for the new moon on the 26th. So I'll click you forward. This is the very morning of the 26th, so you can see when the new moon happens, it means the moon and sun are at the exact same degree. That's the moment of the new moon, and then the moon begins to wax and go ahead of the sun in the zodiac. So at some point on Monday, wherever you might be in the world, the moon is going to join up with the sun in the sign of Taurus with Mercury. So this is moon, sun, and Mercury all together for this new moon in the very creative, fertile sign of Taurus. This is a great moment for stopping, resting, and resetting, and figuring out how you're going to start your next lunar cycle with planting new seeds and getting new projects going. Lovely energy, actually. I do want to point out that Saturn aspects that moon, sun, and Mercury combination, which might encourage us to not go too quickly on our new starts. Make sure everything is all set. Remember the lessons of the past where things might have gone wrong, and apply those lessons to your new starts right now. So that is Monday the 26th. And I'm going to click you now to Tuesday, May 27th. You can see that the moon is still in Taurus. So Sunday, moon in Aries today. Monday and Tuesday, the moon is going to be in Taurus. Taurus is a fixed sign. And it's also the transition of the moon coming from a waning cycle to point of the new moon and then starting to wax. So Monday and Tuesday could feel very wobbly in a way, or low on energy. That's really normal when the moon is new, for us to feel a little bit drained in mental and physical energy. So if you can lighten your schedule, go for it on Monday or Tuesday. It's a good time to get things going, but also to, with Saturn's advice, not go too fast and not go too hard, and make sure things are all set for your direction. So that's Monday and Tuesday. Click you over to Wednesday. Okay, so when we get to Wednesday and Thursday, the moon travels away from the sun and starts waxing, getting brighter ever so slowly. And Jupiter, it's joining with Jupiter. Always auspicious when the moon is with Jupiter, and especially now with Saturn not being able to hit the moon as it joins up with Jupiter. It could feel like Wednesday and Thursday feel kind of inspiring and enthusiastic and growth oriented. So those might be better days to do bigger actions this week when the moon is with Jupiter, because it's out of Saturn's range, etc. Okay, so that's I'm just trying to go quickly here through the week for you guys. So this is Wednesday, this is Thursday. So you can see the moon is still with Jupiter. It's changing nakshatras, different lunar mansions, but moving through. And that's Wednesday and Thursday. So Thursday is Jupiter's day, by the way. It could be a pretty good day with a waxing moon and the moon with Jupiter to do something, especially even education oriented. You could maybe make some of the slides you need for presentation for your classes, or maybe you're studying or checking in with a teacher. That might be really nice for this Thursday. Yes, and Friday. Oh look, Rahu just jumped boxes, everybody. That happened actually on the 29th. So right here, this is the morning of the 29th, 7 a.m. in Washington, D.C. So at some point in this 24 hours, Rahu slides into Aquarius and Ketu slides into Leo. And you can see the numbers there, 29, 55. This is the true node. And so sometime on Thursday, later in the day on Thursday, Rahu and Ketu are going to shift, finally click into their new spots. And then Friday, we've got our friend Venus is going to move. So this is Friday morning. You can see that Venus is still up there with Saturn in that upper left box in the South Indian chart. And that's the last moment of our exalted Venus we've had in Pisces for a long time. Pisces has been the scene for all of these intense springtime changes. At a certain point, we had 7, on the day that Saturn moved into Pisces, remember, there was like 6 or 7 planets there. That was a lot. And so this week, Pisces is clearing out. Venus is leaving, Rahu's leaving, Sun, Mercury have already gone. We're moving on. Leaving Saturn there alone in Pisces, and we'll explore that in the my monthly forecast. You can check it out. I write it down and podcast it out, so you can catch on if this is if I'm new to you. I will not stop talking about astrology. Okay, so that is this is Saturday morning, so the end of the week. As far as I'm concerned, my weeks go from Sunday to Saturday. I count Sunday as the first day of the week. And so now you can see in the upper left-hand corner of that South Indian chart that Venus has moved to Aries, Saturn and Rahu have separated. And you can look, starting at Rahu and moving around clockwise on that upper chart, we've got Rahu, Saturn, Venus, Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, Moon, and Mars, Ketu. So this is a full Graha Malika yoga, a chain that keeps going of all the planets, and it's a complete Kala Amrita yoga. That is, yoga means combination in the context of astrology. And so this is a combination. It's not a classical one that we see in the sutras and Vedic astrology, but it is very dramatic and interesting to me. And I've been keeping my eye on Kala Sarpa yoga and Kala Amrita yoga for a while. Those are 2 forms of the same idea, but it essentially means that all of the planets are hemmed in on one side of that nodal axis, which is, it's complete at this point. So let's see what fate brings us this week as this clicks into a Kala Amrita yoga. It means Amrita yoga means when all of the planets are flowing toward Ketu, which is the case here. Kala Sarpa yoga is when all the planets are flowing toward Rahu. So anyway, Kala Amrita is supposedly a little bit more of a spiritual energy than Kala Sarpa yoga. So let's count on that and hope for that. The other thing I want to point out is the Moon-Mars combination. That'll be on Friday and Saturday. So the moon in Cancer is in its own sign. That makes the moon strong, and it's a waxing moon, so it is getting more powerful. Mars has been in Cancer for a while, doesn't love being in Cancer, and perhaps the moon with Mars improves the situation a little bit. But I'm going to say this, Moon and Mars together in Cancer could be very emotional, and especially in a kind of fiery reaction type of emotional. So, keep it calm, keep it cool. One thing I do like about this setup of this chart that I'm looking at right now for Saturday and Friday is that when Venus moves to Aries, it really completes that Malika, and it makes it a nice little smooth arc. And compared to, let's say, March and April, when we had that pile up, big stack up of planets in Pisces, it's kind of like everybody's in their own separate room here. And it's like there's not as much conflict. We're all sort of doing our job and getting along. Going forward. I'm not saying we're all getting along. That might never happen in the world. Anyway, so that's my take on the week ahead. If I had to encapsulate it, I would say we're with the waning moon and new moon going into the waxing moon is a reset, especially at the beginning of the week, Monday and Tuesday. And then we're having shifts. We're having Rahu finally move. We're having Venus finally move. And new scene has clicked in. So this is a big reset week. I am really interested to see after this week, next week, what will things, how will we all react when everything's in its place and we're off and running into new situations. So anyway, that's my quick take on the week of May 25th coming up. Please put your comments in the YouTube here and tell me what you think. Tell me what feels more right to you. Have you noticed anything with Rahu and Ketu shifting? I'll just add here that people have been asking me, do I count the mean node calculation or the true node calculation as the actual shift? And I count both of them. Um, the mean node shifted on the 18th. The true node will shift on the 29th. I think both of those shifts will probably bring something to most people. So put your comments in and tell me if anything exciting happened around the 18th, and tell me if anything exciting happens around the 29th, and then we can all learn together about how to handle these transits and understand how they might apply to our personal horoscopes. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much for listening, and I'll check in with you again next week. Okay, bye.